obviously playing the defending conference champ up at their place, they're playing real good football, explosive football team. I mentioned that a couple times before because they are, in every facet of their game. They're very well coached, and they've been very successful. So obviously, very intense week of practice for us. It always is. But of course, as the season draws closer and closer to those deciding factors as to who goes where, obviously, the intensity continues to get bigger or higher and higher. So,
would you consider this a make or break game for the team?
I think every game you play all year is a make or break game, and at the end of the game, you analyze your processes and move on to the next week. But we always stay away from cliches with our players. We always are very real with them to make sure they understand the process and the things you have to do, play by play, game by game, week by week, so that we continue to get better. But that's our process.
That being said, it's pretty clear they're the division leader. You win.
Huge game.
Yeah.
It's a huge game. You don't. And one thing you do when being real, you don't downplay. Certain events, and so they know that, and they also know how good Troy is and how good Troy has been at home. Understand that it's not just Jernell Jernigan is obviously a phenomenal football player, and understand that just year after year, their offensive and defensive lines, they continue to reload with very big, fast, and explosive players that change the game, and they have, and they've done it so far. One thing that continues to be impressive is their team speed seems to continually get better. They look like a real fast football team, a very physical football team. So, our guys have, week after week, we put in more and more time. They put in more time on their own also in film watching and preparation. And you see it again this week, even more. So again, all that stuff is the process of getting better.
I've never been there. What's the environment like? Is it one of the?
It's a great environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Great college football environment. Lots of tradition there. I know it's homecoming for them. So it'll be a big buzz around campus and whatnot. And judging from what I know of them and the players there, and reading some of their press conference notes, they're very excited as well. So I think the eyes of the Sun Belt and all those watching, they're in for a real intense and physical football game.
I'm not sure. I think it's the 6th or 7th game you've had televised now. Just the exposure this program's getting by being on TV. Yeah,
as it seems like week after week this program continues to take another step. It's another groundbreaking type of week. And that's, again, part of building a program. And, again, our guys are excited yet focused. And I think we've learned lessons early in the year how to, there's a very, very clear line about, being focused and being confident, and at the same time not letting the hype, kind of mess with the things that you need to do to be successful on Saturday. So I think, we don't have a very big group of seniors. I think in our top, in our two deep, 44 two deep, I think there may be 6 or 7 seniors. But those guys have done a great job practicing at a very high level and serving as examples for younger guys.
This offense that you guys are facing up this week might be ranked probably better than some of the BCS teams you guys played against. How do you guys try to stop a quarterback like Robinson and a receiver like Jerry?
They're real good. They have a lot of weapons, and so, obviously they have players that have had the majority of their production at the same time without ignoring the other ones that have had fairly good amount of production. The things when you look at Troy on offense, the offensive line has gotten bigger, more physical, more athletic. They could run the football very well. They have 3 or 4 backs that can run the football. They use Jernigan every which way possible. He's in the slot, he's outside, he's a running back, he's a wildcat quarterback. You have to prepare for that. Also, the offensive line has done a great job protecting the quarterback. Your defensive line has to come prepared with a mentality to play football, gap control, and get to the quarterback in passing situations. So you have to cover every facet of defensive football to do well against Troy. I don't think that just eliminating one phase of their game gets you prepared to win that football game. And our guys are very aware of it, and I think the guys have taken ownership position by position to prepare that way.
It looks like they use 2 backs, and their leading rusher, I think, has got 8.5 yards a carry or something wild. Is that just a product of their scheme, or is it just they stretch the field so much and those gaps are there?
It's a good question. It's both. It's both, because when you have the threat of what they have outside, and they are a fast tempo offense, so they'll completely, they'll take out the first team, will come out, the second team will come in, and there really is no drop off. It's fast, it's explosive, and what it does when you have a threat of a quarterback as good as Robinson is, those guys out there in the perimeter, on an offensive line that's that good. They really, it's not just an offense that takes advantage of what a defense gives them. I mean, they make plays, don't make the running game work, don't make the passing game work. So that's what makes them dangerous. You know, I know that the passing yards for them right now outweigh the rushing yards, but it's not because they can't run the football. We think they're an excellent rushing football, and we expect them to try to run the football.
It seems like in a lot of ways then you guys have some similar styles, because you like when that, fast pace, get up to the line and snap it too. Do you anticipate this to be a game that's back and forth kind of shootout type of deal?
You know, it very well could be, and it very well could be the other way as well. I know both defenses are fast and they are physical. I know that both offenses try to run 100 plays a game if let be. You know, the game could go 4.5, 5 hours, and it could go 2.5 hours. You know, we never know. What we know for sure is that this game will be toe-to-toe, play after play, down after down for 4 quarters plus as many overtimes necessary.
You're coming off a week where T.Y. scored 4 touchdowns. How important is it to create more opportunities for the other receivers, knowing that this team knows what T.Y. is capable of doing this following week?
Well, you know, T.Y., I think all along in the season, we hit on the plays on Saturday better than we have before. Plays have been there for him before; they'll continue to be there. And I think when you look at some of the stats regarding guys like Greg Ellingson and some of the things that he has done, Wayne Times as well. You know, a guy like Firerson's going to be more involved in the offense. Guys like Willis Wright, who now is getting more playing time, almost had his first catch last week. It's ultra important for them to step up because the running game is coming along, still not where we want it to be. Pass protection up front, we're getting better as well in the running game, and now we're starting to move. We're starting to place the ball in different parts of the field. You know, sometimes it's long over the middle, sometimes it's deep outside, sometimes it's an intermediate route outside, on the opposite hash, and sometimes it's to the boundary. So the more you can, create that chart for opponent defenses to study, hey, the ball is spread out pretty good. Well, the more you can spread out a defense and they can't kind of hone in and shrink the field for you. Okay, you want to keep that field big and you want to be able to get that ball spread around.
What did you see from this defense?
From our defense?
No, Troy.
For Troy, speed, athleticism, and explosiveness. They have some guys that they always have. They always have, and it always has started up front with Troy, and it's no different this year. I mean, what they bring in terms of just and without bringing pressure, without bringing blitz and man dogs, zone dogs, or whatnot, what they do up front is pretty impressive. They're explosive. They got a great feel for pass rush. Inside, they're very active and athletic. Their defensive tackles might be a tad smaller from what they've had, but they are definitely as athletic or more athletic than what they've had in the past, and they've made a ton of plays with pressure and movement. They've added that dimension to the defense this year. Their linebackers are fast, and their safeties and corners are very explosive and good tacklers. So they force you to make plays, and if you do hesitate, if you flinch, they'll make you pay the price. I do believe they lead the league in turnovers cost. So.
How exciting is this week?
Oh, it's always is, So you just continue the process, and the process gets more and more exciting, as the weeks go on, especially this week, and especially after playing a game like last week, where so guys are trying to feel, wow, we can make plays and we can be a good football team. Just keep pressing on, just keep pushing, just put the ball down, put the ball down. Let's go play football, and again, real exciting game, real exciting opportunity.